Alright, guys, welcome once again to LapoteeTV, the only platform here in Germany, Hamburg to precise, where all Africans can share almost everything and anything they want. Today, once again, I'm here with another prominent guy, another guy in the house, and he has a lot to say. He goes by the name DJ Sivlé. So, alright, DJ Sivlé, once again, welcome to LapoteeTV.
Hey, good to have you, man.
There is no need for to ask you who are you and all that. Just by the way you introduce yourself, doing your own thing on the DJ on the machine. I mean, people can tell you are definitely the DJ. So, but DJ Silver, tell me, what is it like for you being a DJ, or why do you decide to be a DJ? But first of all, tell me a little bit about your background. I think that would be better.
Okay. Well, I'll say the music journey has always been within the family.
Oh, okay.
So it was not a very foreign path to get into.
Oh, okay.
And then in terms of DJing, I would say I started with production around 2008. So producing instrumentals and some songs.
Okay.
And coming up to 2010, I was just getting bored of songs.
Oh, okay.
You know, I would listen to a song and I'm like, no, I like just this specific part of the song.
Oh, okay.
And the rest of the song, nah.
Yeah, okay.
And then I found a software where I was like, oh, okay, so now I can put it on a loop and it
Okay.
repeats.
Okay.
And then, oh, okay, I've got an idea for another song. Now I can put them together.
Okay.
And then I discovered, oh, that's called DJ.
Oh, okay.
And that's how it pretty much started. Started creating my own little mixtapes where I just put my earphones and just start listening.
Okay.
And that just grew from there.
So, in other words, what you meant to say, you started doing this DJ thing even when you didn't know that there's a word that is just like being a DJ, right?
That's correct.
And then you said, how long is this right now? Since when? How old were you by then?
So since 2010, that's when I started playing my first mixes.
Okay, so how old were you by then?
2010.
Now we have to do the math.
Now we have to do the math.
Yeah.
2010, I must have been around 15.
15 years. So so is that to say your career as a DJ or your path as a DJ started when you were 15 years?
That's what I would say.
And then you said something like it's always been the family. Like, was your dad was like some famous rock star or something like that?
Well, not a rock star.
Okay.
But we have a very musical family.
Oh, okay.
Rooted from church.
Oh, okay.
So the whole family sings within church.
Oh, okay.
And that's how I also learned to play the drums and other instruments.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. And it's interesting you say it sort of started from church. And I know for most musicians that we have out there, church is always the start where people start this, but it's rather interesting how people always start this kind of things with church, but they don't end up in church. Is it that the church is not doing a lot to motivate people to stay in when they have such talent? Because, of course, if you started from church, someone would have expected like your path should be throughout church. Maybe probably you'll not even be DJing in clubs and things. But we see most people who started developing this talent from church, and then they end up in so many places. Why didn't you end up like just DJing in church? Because I know people who go to church don't agree or don't like it when believers go to such places like clubs. So that means you're a Christian and you're a DJ.
Yeah.
So how does that work?
So it depends which part of the world you're in.
Oh, okay.
You'd look at, I'll speak on behalf of Zimbabwe, which is where I'm from.
Oh, okay.
You would find that you have a lot of young talent where people can play drums, guitars, and everything. But depending which church you go to, it might be a traditional church, and they won't really be open and accepting that, oh, let's play guitars in the church, or let's play drums in the church, or something like that. So you end up finding maybe that talent gets exported to other countries, or if it ends up in a church, it ends up in a different church that is maybe not so traditional. And it's interesting because that same church, if you come to Europe, they will have a full band.
Oh, okay.
Full of youths, and they're playing drums, guitars, keyboard, trumpet, anything you can think of. You know, they're doing it. So it really depends which part of the world you're in.
Coming from. Okay. So is that to say that some parts of Africans are still not open when it comes to certain things?
That's true.
That's true. Okay. You mentioned that you were coming from Zimbabwe. Tell me a little bit about Zimbabwe. You know, before you came, I was trying to honestly check a little bit about Zimbabwe. It's interesting, but sometimes most of us Africans don't take interest in trying to get to know more about Africans, about African places. And I was checking in. One thing I didn't understand is that you guys have like 14 different currencies or whatever, and then you spend dollars, your main official this thing. And then something I came across. They mentioned some Victoria Falls, some place in Zimbabwe to visit. Tell me about Victoria Falls. But someone who is watching this show for the first place and hearing somebody's come from Zimbabwe, what would make someone want to take a trip to Zimbabwe as a place for the person to spend some holidays? Like,
Victoria Falls would definitely be the first place on my bucket list.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Speaking of the Victoria Falls itself, it's almost like the Jollof conversation with Ghana and Nigerians.
Oh, okay.
Because we share Victoria Falls with Zambia. So there's always a debate, okay, which side is better? Victoria Falls from Zambian side or from Zimbabwean side? And of course, I will say Zimbabwean side.
All right, you heard it. Since you are coming from Zimbabwe, obviously you will say it's coming from Zimbabwe, but very soon when we have somebody from Zambia, I'm sure when they come, they also say that their side is better. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So still with you, DJ. Tell me, being a DJ, is it something that you can actually say you are making a living out of it?
Yes.
As a DJ.
Yes.
So DJing is the only job you are doing.
Yeah.
At the moment.
That's correct.
How does that work? Because like I said, like I know for here in the diaspora, you see a lot of Africans getting into interview a whole lot of people here. Some are doing into music and stuff, but you realize that they, even when they are doing it full time, it's not something that, like I said, they are paying their monthly bills from meals, their rent and all those things. How are you able to get to that extent where you have a lot of gig to the extent that it's a way of living, like that is what you live from?
It's so interesting. The first time I came to Germany was the first time where I had conversations where people say, what are you besides a DJ? And I say, that's it. And they're surprised and they can't process it. Like, what do you mean that's it? There has to be something else. I'm like, no, this is it. So it's, that's all I do. And for me, it's full time for sure, but I've realized that a lot of people do it on the side. And then because of that, they don't invest so much time into it. And generally the world where people see quality, they will pay for it. So now, because you're not investing so much time into that art or the craft, you get to a certain threshold where you can't go beyond that. And then now, in terms of, let's say, your value in the market, it hits a ceiling and you can't go above that. But then if it's like full time, you're doing it 100% and you're always evolving, where people see the quality, they will definitely pay for it.
Okay, so in other words, what you are trying to say that for most people who are into all this kind of crafts, arts, that they are not making it full time in it is because probably they're not giving their maximum of their 100% to it.
I would say that there's always more potential. Like there's always more you can develop with the art.
Okay. I know you are not a family man yet. Could it be that probably because you're not a family man, so I mean whatever mini income or whatever you are getting from the DJ is sustaining you? That's why probably if you could have a 1 or 2 kids, you might think of having another job. Is it what it is?
No, it's not.
Yes, no.
The only reason why I'm not a family man yet is because of moving around quite a lot. But given that I was to decide to settle down and everything, I would still be able to sustain a household.
Wow. Guys, you heard it once here on LapoteeTV. So if you are an African here and you are here in the diaspora, you are here in Germany, Hamburg to precise, and you're also doing this DJ thing or you are into any form of art and all those things, and you are still taking into hustle. The man DJ Sivlé sitting here, did I pronounce that right? Sivlé, right?
Sivlé, yeah.
Sivlé said that, look, it is possible to make a living out of it. He's doing it full time. So you just have to develop and give your 100% to it and know that this is it, like he said. So DJ Sivlé still with you. So in other words, that to say, does it mean that you've been playing big shows like for the Burna Boys, the Davidos and all that? Because I sometimes we kind of have this question that if someone is doing just a party and they call you, I mean, of course, I don't think someone is paying 2,000 euros, 3,000 euros just for the party, you know. And some people think normally, unless you get all those big shows or for these big artists before you can actually have a big money from it. So is that what it is from you? You are playing for the top guys, or what is it?
So the market is segmented into different, let's say, different categories. You've got, it's like how you have your wedding DJs, which are your mobile DJs. You also have your festival DJs, which are DJs who perform for artists, and that's like their primary thing. You've got your club DJs, you've got your event DJs, so there's a lot of different categories that you can work with. And for me, I did not go down the artist path. I have gone down the path of being a club DJ. And as a follow-up to that, I also then started creating an experience. In other words, an event. But I like to call it an experience because I'm very intentional with what I want to deliver to people. Every single detail for me matters. So that's why I like calling it an experience.
It's good. It's good you have that experience to us. But it's very interesting. Like when we find people doing a particular job, they want to be everywhere, anywhere and everywhere. Because like you said, like if I'm just decide to tell myself that I'm a funeral DJ, I mean, how many times do I want somebody to die before I go DJ? You understand me? Someone like, okay, so I can't just be a DJ for a funeral. I have to be a DJ for child dedication, a DJ for like club and all those things. So are you saying as a DJ that you say you are making a living, sustaining yourself from this, paying your rent and stuff? It's good to limit yourself as a DJ, not to being like you said, event or not that. You just have to stick to one line. I'm a club DJ or something like you put it, or a DJ for artists.
At least you don't run the risk of being a jack of all trades. So,
all right.
Yeah. But that's what I did. I just found my niche and I'm just running with it. And I'm not really spreading myself so far. Yes, it's so attractive to do weddings and other things because they even corporate gigs, they pay a lot. But for me, that's not my niche. I respect the DJs who are doing that, and I know quite a lot who are also doing it, and they love it, they enjoy it, but just not my thing.
That's not your thing. But now that you find your niche and you know you are in this particular category or this angle you are going, let's say right now, so a top artist come in town, likes of Davido, Burna Boy, and they're like, oh, DJ Sivlé is the guy we have to go for. Will you just you are still following your niche, and for once you will not want to go there because you're not going to DJ for a Burna Boy or any of those big artists just because that is not your niche and that's not what you are following?
So the key thing for me is relationship. So it depends on that relationship. Yes, they'll come, but sometimes there can be a price to pay. You might be playing for a big artist, but maybe your experience, the experience that you get with that might not be the best experience. So I know for a lot of DJs, especially new and up and coming DJs, they might be very excited about something like that. Where it's like, I want to play like what you said. I want to play everywhere. I want to play for everyone and everything. But I think it's very important to remain on the ground and still consider the important things like the relationship. So if we have a really good relationship and they're coming, no problem. Like I would provide the vibe, take people on an experience, and we all have a good time. But if it's something like, okay, you get the deal, but you're suppressed in so many areas, then you might find yourself in a situation where you're not representing yourself anymore. People come and they're like, we know what to expect from Sivlé. There he is. And then Sivlé is playing something they don't relate to. They're like, yo, what happened? So it's very important for the relationship to be in place.
All right, guys, you just heard it here on LapoteeTV. Like I keep saying, this is the only place where Africans here in Germany, Hamburg to be precise, can share almost everything they want to share, as well as providing them with a platform. And like my man DJ Sivlé just say here, it's good to stick to your niche, but when it comes to doing things with people, consider the relationship. When the relationship is there, you can go. And it's quite interesting. That was the same thing I said to you. Like I was just on the occasion, I met so many people, but it was all about relationship. I saw you, felt like, okay, there is a vibe. That's a guy that I feel like we could definitely do something. Otherwise, we don't just meet on a day and then the following day. And I mean, if it's not the same for you too, I think you will not be here. I mean, that kind of a thing. So whatever you do, put the niche there, and relationship is also important. So DJ Sivlé, I'm still with you. So tell me, so in other words, like you said it, when it comes to DJing, there are DJs who DJ for every kind of occasions. Right. Okay. That's good. And so I wanna find out from you. So now that you said that you are stuck to your niche, what did you say you're doing right now in the DJ? You say you're in one category. I forgot what did you say.
So the club DJ.
So you are just doing club DJing. So what is it like being a club DJ? What are the risks involved in being a club DJ?
Like the risks? Well, being a club DJ can be, there's levels to it.
Oh, okay.
Right? You can be a club DJ where you just deliver, you just understand the assignment, you just play the right songs. There's another level of being a club DJ where you now actually express yourself, where you create music, where you create edits and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And I always tell my DJ friends, and I say, once you decide to be a very creative DJ, it's kind of a trap because you set that expectation.
Okay.
So every time when someone's going to come and listen to you, they're expecting something creative. Okay. So you can't then relax and say, okay, let me just play songs like a Spotify playlist or something. So that is one, I would say, one thing that is like a constant pressure. However, when you find your space and your style, it then doesn't really feel like pressure, but it feels more like a fuel that you can go with. But coming down to the more real things, when I talk about risks, we can talk about health. It's very important to stay fit, take care of your body. It's an environment where there's a lot of alcohol, there's a lot of smoking and whatever. So if you aren't taking care of your health, you know, you will not last. You know, health is wealth, right?
Yeah, because the reason why I asked, I know that, I mean, for someone to be a club DJ, that means actually is that the person always working at night.
Yes.
So actually, you always robbing yourself of your sleep. And how does it feel robbing yourself of sleep constantly every night? I am a father, I have a baby, and I know it's very hard to wake up at night to take care of it. So I can imagine if this becomes something you have to do on it constantly. How are you able to keep up? I mean, or you sleep in the morning and then you are ready for the night. How do you do that?
For me, I'm just grateful that I managed to find the balance. A lot of people are still figuring it out, for sure. But I found my balance where I know that, okay, I'm working on the Friday or on the Saturday, and I'm going to rest until this time, and then I'm going to go to the gym, and then after that maybe network with some people, just hang out and just do things that replenish my body. And then drinking a lot of water, for sure.
Right. You know, before I introduce you, you came in trying to give us some vibe about what you do, like giving us some mixes there, and I'm like, you played a couple of songs, then before you have to end it with a Ghanaian. So I don't know whether you wanted to give me that honor because you find yourself in a Ghana man's house. So, but I honestly,
my dues.
No, but honestly, I was feeling the vibe. But then I want to find out from you, being a DJ, and if you find yourself in a situation where you have to play an event, how do you decide to choose the kind of songs you want to play? Because have you ever find yourself having that conflict of interest, knowing that you are from Zimbabwe and then somebody calls you? Because I've been on so many occasions whereby maybe I'm in a party and then sometimes Ghanaians that are there in the party or in the club are pissed off and go like, all these DJs, they are playing Nigerian songs. Even the Ghanaian DJs are playing Nigerian songs. But I just want to believe sometimes people do that based on the kind of song that they feel is a hit. But I don't know for you, so that's why I'm asking. Have you found yourself in that situation whereby you are DJing and you have to, there's a conflict of interest where you feel like, okay, you have to play your country song? Okay.
All the time.
Okay.
Almost every other weekend. But those kind of moments excite me, to be honest, because they challenge your creativity. I mean, here we are in Hamburg, right? And Amapiano, yes, now it's becoming more of a heated genre in terms of the Germans receiving it. But I remember the first times I was playing in a club called Superfly.
Okay.
And you couldn't play more than 3 songs of Amapiano. Otherwise the dance floor just clears. So now it challenges you, like, okay, how can I make them listen to Amapiano and make them stay? You know, and then now you start coming up with ideas where it's like, okay, maybe mix this German song and mix that African song and do this, do that, and then just make magic happen. So I've had that a lot, but that's what actually builds my creativity. So I actually prefer those kind of events or situations where we've got a conflict and then I bring the people together with the music.
So it's interesting you put it that way, because I know under normal circumstances, I mean, if I am selling something, a product, and this is what the people prefer, I will not just give them this because, like you said, so you find yourself in a situation whereby you want to play Amapiano. Well, you know that probably the people around want some Afrobeats and not something about that. But because you're a Zimbabwean, you feel like you need to play Amapiano. Don't you? don't you feel like that is like running a risk of people not loving what you do? It's all about giving them what they want.
Yeah, so it's more like it's almost like a psychological game, right? It's like you have to catch the people in the room first before you take them where you want to take them. So for me, when I play, it's all about taking them on a journey. So first, I catch you and get you vibing to my frequency, and you're like, okay, yo, I like his style. Yeah, okay, all right. And then when I see that everyone is locked in, that's when I start taking you on a journey where you start hearing songs you don't know, songs maybe you didn't even like, but because you heard it that day or that night, then it's something where you really enjoy it. So I've had one experience here in Hamburg, actually. It was this outdoor street festival that I was playing at. And when I finished my set, one feedback I got from a close friend of mine was, hey, there were a lot of Germans who were like, yo, I don't know this song, but it's so nice, and taking out their phone and Shazamming
to see what song it is.
But it's that thing where you catch them, and then now when you've caught them, you're like, okay, now it's time. Let's go on this journey. Let me show you. And then you start educating them with the music.
That's good. It's interesting. I always keep saying that anytime I do these interviews, it's as well for the youngs who are coming to learn something and be educated. So let me ask you, for a young boy who is watching right now, is like, okay, I like the way DJ Sivlé is flowing or whatever he's doing and that kind of a thing. How much does a DJ earn on a gig? Or let's put it that way.
It depends. I would say...
Or let me say, on the average, how much is DJ Sivlé earning since you're making, and let's on the average, since you say you're making a living out of it?
I mean, for me, if I'm to talk about myself, then it's an easier topic. But if I'm to talk about the DJ industry itself, then it's the range is like... I have to stay in frame. The range is so wide. Yeah. But I'll tell you that, for example, I've had a gig where it was 1.4 and I played 2 hours. So, but 2.8, but that's like excluding...
So when you say 2 point, like 2,800 euros or
2,800
euros on a night?
That was US dollars, but...
Okay, on that, okay, it's almost the same equivalent, yeah. On a night?
On a night.
Wow.
And this is excluding tickets, excluding hotel and all the other costs.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but it comes back to the point I raised earlier on, which is...
Finding your niche.
Finding your niche, but also where people see value and quality, they'll pay. No matter what price you call. But now when I speak of the DJ industry now, it's just generally, it's quite a mess.
Yeah. Okay, so let's come back. I remember quite early on, I was having a conversation with you and you told me something. So aside the fact you being a club DJ, you say you have this thing of your own now that you either been doing already, like where like it's like some like a home party, something. Can you throw more light on it? Let me know what you were trying to explain. Yeah.
So, you mean the one next week or the one that I've been doing?
You told me the one next week. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the one that I'm doing next week, this is a private event or a guest list only event. Where I'm creating an experience for people in Hamburg. It's just going to be tailor-made. It's going to be different. It's not going to feel like any regular event, but it'll feel more like just the entire experience. I think it's best for you people to come to that kind of event or get yourself on the guest list and you experience for yourself.
But since you said it's going to be something private, that means it's not something that is open. So whoever you tell them to have the experience or whatever,
there's always a way. There's always a way.
Guys, even if something is VVVIP private, there's always a way. So
there's always...
just Sivlé is sitting here. So in case you want to have experience of what he's saying, probably you want to inbox him on Instagram or anything, and probably you might find a way to let you in just for you to have that experience he's talking about. Yeah. So DJ Sivlé, still stay, I'm with you. So yeah. So back to the same thing that I'm saying. So if someone should call you for any other event, if it is not clubbing and it's a wedding or whatever it is, it has to be a relationship before you honor it. Because I'm still trying to find it difficult. It looks like someone will say you are limiting your market. We have guys in the industry that are doing something, even when it comes to this photography and videography that I do. People don't limit themselves. When you call them for wedding, they are there. We call them for funeral. They are doing photo shoot and stuff because probably feel like they are not still making that much. So you are saying, so if anyone is watching you right now, that even the person wants to put up a wedding or anything, DJ Sivlé is just club DJing.
So I have done weddings, but I can count.
Oh, okay.
And the reason why is because of that relationship. So you'd find like my most recent wedding, it's someone who was coming to an event that I'm doing here in Hamburg.
Okay.
And they were coming regularly.
Oh, okay.
And they just sent me a message, hey, you know what? I would be honored if you'd be able to guest DJ or DJ at my wedding. And for me, it was an honorable proposal, and I DJ there. But generally, I'm not the one who's looking for different events or different weddings and stuff. And it's because I found my path and my vision or my purpose, and I'm just going with that. And anything else that comes, yes, I can listen, especially if there's a relationship, then okay, I can extend. But I know my path, and I'm just focusing on that.
All right, guys. So like I keep saying, it's only on LapoteeTV that you get such interviews. Like it's saying, anything that you are trying to do there, just find your path. When you find your path and you follow that path, irrespective of how hard things get, you're definitely going to get what you intend or what you're supposed to get from it. So DJ Sivlé is still here with you. So, you know, when I had a conversation with you, the few conversation we had, you told me that you've not been long here in Germany or Hamburg to precise. I don't know. But have you been long in Europe? Let's put it that way.
No, actually. No.
Okay, the reason why I'm asking, because, you know, it's very interesting. The thing is, people have that notion that anyone that is coming from Africa to stay in the diaspora, of course, they have to hustle. They have to go through the system of going to do a cleaning job and all those jobs, which there's nothing wrong with it, but it's not easy to get yourself in the status or where you are in your country before coming here. And you came here not long ago, and you are saying DJing is what you are doing here, and you are able to pay your rent, have your living, do all sort of that. How were you able to do it? Did somebody contracted you from Africa for the first time before coming here, and that is how come you're having your gigs? How are you doing this?
It's been a long journey. It's been a very long journey. It started with Zimbabwe.
Okay.
And then from Zimbabwe, it went to China.
Okay.
And then from China, and let's say Asia.
Okay.
And then from Asia, went to the UAE.
Okay.
Specifically in Dubai.
Okay.
And then from Dubai, came to Germany.
Okay.
Specifically Hamburg.
So are you saying it was just this DJ thing that took you to all these places?
Yeah.
Wow. Guys, you're hearing first time on LapoteeTV, like I'm saying. Like you said, anything that you decide to do in this world, just find your niche in it and take that part. I mean, like I'm saying, I never knew that just a DJ could fly somebody out of their country. And so it's not like you just came to Europe for greener pastures, like most Africans are here, you know, coming to hustle in and the diaspora. That's not your case.
The reason why I came here actually is because of a German DJ.
Oh, okay.
Big shout out to SK83 if you're gonna see this one day. But there's this DJ competition called Red Bull 3 Style.
Oh, okay.
And he won the championship on, I think, 2016.
Oh, okay.
And I just really liked his style.
Okay.
It was just amazing. And I was like, okay, let me look into other DJs in Germany. And I was finding so many DJs where I really liked their style. And that's what actually then pushed me, where I was like, you know what, there's something in Germany that I have to discover. Let me go and experience.
Oh, okay.
And here we are.
So that was how you got to Hamburg.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as if to say you had a gig and you came on your own.
So came on my own. And then I met, big shout out to Iron, DJ Iron, also a German DJ, really good.
Okay.
Really good DJ. And met up with him.
Okay.
And started playing in Superfly.
Okay.
And yeah, since then I was just playing here and there, and then eventually I'm like, you know what, let me settle here in Hamburg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you think there will ever be a time where you'll be like, okay, probably the DJ thing is not going as I expected, so now that I found myself in Europe or Germany, I have to do some hospitting, as they call it, education, try and learn a different trade, probably start driving Amazon car or something like that. Do you think there will come a time like that?
I can't really say. I can't say no. There will never be a time like that. But what I can say is I'm fortunate to have a lot of relationships.
Okay.
So given that things don't go well in the German market, I could still fall back to the UAE market, or I could go back to the Asian market, or even the Zimbabwean market. So it's I mean, right now I still have a lot of plans to expand my reach and expand to a lot more people. So that means also hopefully a lot more business. Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you, are you picky when it comes to clubs that you DJing? Because I know we don't have much, but we have here in Hamburg, I just know of one club, Bridge Club. There used to be a lot of them now, but they all fall into water. And so, are you open to DJing in African clubs, or you just go with a white flow or the German flow kind of clubs? Just asking.
I am it's a two-way thing. So to a certain extent, I am picky. Because at the end of the day, it's also about brand, right? It's also about brand positioning and everything. So to a certain extent, I do my research or my due diligence and find out, okay, what's this place about and all that stuff. And then to another extent, it's also understanding maybe what the vision of the place is, because you might understand, okay, maybe it has not the best reputation, but they've turned things around. And a place like Hamburg, it's so busy, right? It has a big inflow of foreigners. So you know what, when a place gets bad reputation, it takes a long time to change that again. So these are the kind of conversations I also have when I do my research, and maybe I find out that, oh, maybe this is not the best place to be playing, then I have to.
So in other words, what you're saying, somebody just doesn't call you for a club gig and then you go play there. You do your due diligence to check out on the club whether is it a place you actually want to play.
That's very important.
All right, it's good we have that said. So DJ Sivlé, like I keep saying, anytime someone come here, we can actually use one day to have all the conversations or so on would say. But I just want to say thanks for taking the time and passing through and coming to LapoteeTV. But right before we go, I just want you to give us some of your mix. Like, I mean, probably let the people get to enjoy DJ Sivlé. Probably say for the next how do you say, for the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, let's have you do your thing. And so like let people say if sometimes it's just good to say less and do much. You know what I'm saying? So DJ Sivlé, over to you. Give let the people have a feel of what it is in case they find themselves in the clubs that you normally play. That way I'm sure they'll start checking you on Instagram. Okay, where is he playing today? Where is he playing today?
What's he doing?
So let's have you do your thing. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
So like I said, thanks for coming to LapoteeTV.
Hey, vibes, man.
Really enjoyed this.
Hey, same here, man. We should do it one more time.
Bye bye. Thanks for listening. Ciao.
Hey.
Ciao. Yeah.
Ciao.
Respect.